So Trump has launched the first wave of his trade war. Mexico, Canada and China are the first victims. For now, Trump has spared India, even though he kept criticizing India during his campaign. As a candidate, Donald Trump called India, and I'm quoting, a tariff king and a very big abuser.
India, we don't have to talk about own. If India charges us 100%, do we charge them nothing for the same? You know, they send in a bicycle and we send them a bicycle. They charge us 100 and 200. India charges a lot. If they want to charge us, that's fine, but we're going to charge them the same thing.
So why is Trump holding back now? Perhaps because he's set to meet Prime Minister Modi. Both leaders are supposed to hold talks this month, so Trump could be giving diplomacy a chance. There is talk of a mini trade deal, one that addresses Trump's concerns. Japan did something similar during Trump's first term. They signed a limited trade agreement. It reduced or eliminated tariffs on some industrial and agricultural goods. Now, India could end up using the same template. You see, Donald Trump believes in striking deals, and India seems to be playing to that mindset. Last week, India laid the groundwork for a deal. The budget was announced on Saturday, the union budget. India slashed tariffs on multiple goods. Peak tariff rates like 150%, 125%, 100% have all been removed. Import taxes on high-end bikes have been lowered, like on Trump's favorite Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Import tax on these bikes has been cut by 10%. It has been brought down to 40% now. Even car makers like Tesla are being wooed. India has lowered taxes on luxury cars. Earlier, the rate was 125%. Now it has been reduced to 70%. Beyond these, taxes on top 30 American imports to India like crude oil, aeroplanes, LPG or liquefied petroleum gas, they are in the range of 0 to 7.5%. These changes could come up for discussion and lead to a meaningful conversation on trade when Prime Minister Modi sits down with President Trump in a couple of weeks. But what kind of deal should New Delhi push for? I suppose the specifics are still being worked out, but India should only accept an agreement that works for both sides, not a one-sided deal. There needs to be some give and take, and India is in a good position to extract meaningful concessions. Trump's trade war has created opportunities for India. Tariffs on Mexico, Canada and China will create a void in the American market. India could step up and fill the gaps. Some sectors can make an immediate impact, like electronics and machinery. On this front, Donald Trump wants to cut reliance on China, and India could prove to be a viable substitute. Electronics imports from India are anyway growing. In the current financial year, they have grown by 28%. The surge was driven by smartphone production. This sector could benefit from Trump's current trade war. Similarly, other sectors like EVs and batteries, pharmaceuticals, textiles and apparels, clean energy, jewelry and precious metals, organic chemicals, iron and steel items, all these sectors have a rare opportunity. Their products will face less competition in the United States as things stand today. They can try securing more export contracts there, provided America meets India halfway. Indian exporters need better access to the US market. They want free movement of goods and more visas for Indian manufacturers. And India has raised this specific concern. It came up last month when External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar was in Washington, D.C. He attended Trump's inauguration. Later, he met with his new American counterpart, Marco Rubio. Rubio is the new U.S. Secretary of State, basically their foreign minister. He held his first bilateral meeting with S. Jaishankar, and the Indian minister raised the issue of visa delays.
When it came to various regulations and processes, I also flagged some concerns which are very widespread in India about delays in visas, and the relationship is not well served if it takes that many days for people to get a visa, because ultimately those visa delays do impact business. They do affect tourism. They in many ways constrain the people-to-people interactions, which is the foundation of our relationship.
So there is a real opportunity for a strong deal. Both sides have something meaningful to offer to each other. India is open to lowering tariffs. In return, it wants free market access as well as easy movement of professionals. Now, it all comes down to Donald Trump. If he wants a deal, he should meet India halfway. We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. demand touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir in we're on our way to Tel Aviv. Pretty measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
we were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote effort. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.